Afraid to be labeled single or think that it says something bad about you? Ladies, being single means you hold all the power. Let me just explain here. When you are comfortable with not dating, not settling, not going out with just anyone, you suddenly hold all the cards. So the thing is that for a very long time, especially in my 20s and even in my teens, I was so lonely. And I thought that if only I get a boyfriend, everything will be okay. In fact, I was so desperate for this that I would latch on to pretty much any guy that paid any attention to me. I got into a lot of situationships. There were a lot of crushes that were unrequited. And my biggest lesson was getting into a relationship with somebody who actively and aggressively pursued me when I was like, that's it, I'm done. And it turned into a 13-year toxic, abusive relationship that nearly destroyed me. I went from being this vibrant person who loved life and would sing and dance and just dress for herself to no longer having red in my wardrobe because he didn't like me in red, to basically never painting, never drawing. I stopped writing my fan fiction because he got sick and tired of me getting all of the reviews and getting all excited whenever people would send me things saying, keep writing. There were so many really sad things that happened in that relationship. And it taught me a really valuable lesson that you do not chip away at yourself to be in a relationship with somebody else. And anybody who expects you to chip away at yourself in order to be loved by them, they don't love you. They just don't want to be alone. And they see you as valuable and they just want to keep you. But they can't actually handle you and they can't actually love you for all of yourself. And I used to think, nobody's going to love me as I am. Nobody is going to respect me if I happen to be smarter than them. If I happen to be showing off my book smarts. Oh no, guys don't like that. I can't make more money than a guy. And I diminished myself. I cut away pieces of myself and he cut away pieces of me. So ladies, here's the thing that you need to understand is that the right guy is out there. Okay? He does exist. The thing is that he often doesn't see his magnificence, and you have a superpower that you can see that in the right man. When he comes along, you won't have to change him into something else to be more of your ideal dream partner. And he won't have to change you. In fact, you will love him exactly as he is, and he will love you exactly as you are. And maybe you don't get into a relationship right away. I mean, in my case, I met mine, and it's just not the right time for us to be in a relationship. But we have this deep and connected friendship, and it's just always just been perfect. I mean, he has his shadows, I have mine, but I love him exactly as he is. Even when he's doing silly things, I don't even have to get into it, but I've never felt unsafe. My heart is not unsafe with him. And the thing is that when you choose to stay single, that automatically gets that guy to recognize, oh, I need to step up. Oh, I need to be for her what she needs. And I can actually be that. That's all she needs? Oh, I can totally love her that way. So see, they have their own issues. I have so many guy friends that have told me, it's like, you know what? Like, you are so intimidating. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I love you. I support you. I'm just here. And they're like, yeah, but you're so beautiful and you're so kind and you're just like the cheerleader that the nerdy guy wants but can't have. And I'm like, that's so cute. That's so cute that you think that. Because I think you're a great guy. You're just not the one for me because I already have mine. But I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you find your lady. And I do. And they do find their lady. And it's awesome. So, I mean, the thing is that you really have to understand is that when you choose to be single and you choose to be like true love or nothing, suddenly it's okay to wait. It's okay if your person needs to go out and do something, or maybe they need to go on a trip once you're together, and it's okay. You'll actually trust them. You won't worry that they'll find somebody else because you know that anybody else is a downgrade from you because you love yourself so much and you recognize like this is my person and they know that they're my person. And they know that I see their magnificence and I can love them into their greatness. And nobody else can do it in a way that I can. And yeah, they could go somewhere else. But they'll come back because they know. And they love me so much that they would never do that to me because they love me. So for me, I am single by choice. Because my person has some things he needs to work out right now, and that's okay. When he's ready, he'll come after me. And the last thing I want is for him to basically think that I would go anywhere else. I'm just not going to. But you know, it's easy. I was thinking about that today. It's like, you know what? If he's not ready, that's okay. I already know I can't go anywhere else. I know that if I went out on a date with a guy right now, and I could very easily get on Tinder or one of those apps right now, and I could post a picture of me in a bikini, and I guarantee I would get somebody that wants to go out with me right now. Like, I could do that. But I would just be delaying his journey. Because the other thing about you having a person out there is if you continue to settle and cling to a relationship that's not working just because you're afraid of being alone, you know what you're actually doing? You're keeping 4 people from having their person. That's what you're doing. You're actually keeping 4 people from finding their person. Because you're not with your person. They're not with their person, and their person is not with them, and your person is not with you. So 4 people don't get to have their true love because you're afraid of being alone. So you just latch on to whatever relationship seems to fit in the moment, and then you just keep saying, well, love is hard, I've just got to stick it out. Instead of recognizing you're awesome just by yourself. You're awesome by yourself. And you know what? Even though I say, ladies, we have all the power of like having the ability to be alone. Guys, you do too. You can choose not to get into a relationship until it's your person. And you know how you can tell that it's your person? Well, aside from the you just know feeling that you get, there's also this feeling that you're meeting yourself. Your person is like the opposite gender of you or same sex, but maybe they had like a slightly different path, and it's like, oh my gosh, like it's like meeting me if I had taken an alternate path. Like it's literally like meeting yourself. And like you have the same core values. So there's never going to be any question about giving up your values. And they just have this unconditional love and appreciation for you. And yeah, maybe there's some real major attraction too. I mean, that was I was like, holy crap, like, where have you been when I met him? But it's more than that. Because it's not just the attraction. You also recognize that this person is so important to you that you do not want to ruin that relationship by getting into things too fast or getting in when you're not ready. Like, I was not ready when I met him. I'm like, I am not ready. And for me to try to work out all of my shadows with you right now is just, I can't. I'm just going to keep you as my friend right now. And like, that's the same thing right now. He's not ready yet. Not ready for that. But you know what? When it's ready, when it's time, it'll work. And until that happens, I'm good with just loving him on my own. I am good with that. That's the other thing, is to be able to really recognize this, is that there is a true unconditional love. That you would love this person even if they never changed and never came after you and you never got into a relationship with them. It's like you can't unlove that person. They're just, like, you're just drawn to them. And it's not out of a need to have them and possess them. It's just like, I just love you. So again, if that is out there, if true love really exists, why are we so afraid that we have to cling on to just any date and go on Tinder and try to find somebody? And why is it that after we get out of a relationship, people are always like, oh, you got to get back on the horse. You got to get back on the horse. No. I deliberately decided, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to. I'm just not. Because why? When you found the most extraordinary person you've ever met, you know there's nowhere else to go. You know anybody else is like, you're settling, and there's going to be that moment of guilt when you're with somebody else. And you're thinking, I wish I was with my person instead. Do you really want to do that to someone? I really can't. Now that I've met my person, I just can't think of trying to get into a relationship with a man and have him devote all of his attention to me and try to love me. But I just can't love him at the level that I love my person. I just can't. It's just not gonna work. Once you know, you know. It's true love. The Notebook is real. It's actually real. All of those love stories, everything. I thought I was a complete skeptic, but I have a best friend and she actually helps skeptics believe in true love again. She's like the most amazing relationship coach I've ever met. And her story is incredible of how she met her person. And when I saw them together, that's what informed me that it's like, I'm not with my person, but I need to be. And fortunately, I found my person at around that same time. I wasn't with him. I was in my toxic, negative, horrible relationship. But I realized, like, oh, I'm hanging on to a trauma bond. This is not the same thing as true love. That's true love over there. This is a trauma bond and I need to break it. And I did. And now I'm waiting for my person. And if he's out there right now, he knows who he is. And he knows I'm waiting. And I can't wait for him to come get me, whenever that's going to be. And yeah, I just have to say that though. Everyone, you need to stop clinging. Everyone before the one is practice for the one. It's okay to walk away if it's not fitting. If it's really not a good fit, if your paths are going in a different direction, it's okay to still love that person and lovingly let them go, because they're not for you. They're for somebody else, and you train them up a bit and now they can go free. And if it's a karmic situation where you're just learning lessons, well, once you realize that it's a trauma bond and you need to break it, that in itself, be grateful for that lesson too. I mean, it sucked. It really sucked to have that 13-year relationship and to have children with that man and everything. But you know what? At the same time, I'm grateful because I learned how to choose myself. After sacrificing so much, I was able to rise back up from the ashes, and I chose myself. So if you want to know more about this, though, there's a book that I highly recommend, and it's by Kate Rose, and it's called You Only Fall in Love 3 Times. Now, it doesn't mean you actually only have 3 loves, obviously, but it's the different types of loves. But there's only one that is your person. And some people call it twin flame, some call it true love. Like, there's many different names for it, but it's basically, this is your person that is meant for you. Yes, the one exists. And I was so skeptical. When I was 16 years old, I thought that the one would exist, and I kept waiting for him, and people said he didn't exist. So I kind of gave up on the dream. But I went back into my journal not long ago, and I read some of the things I wrote when I was 16 years old about what my dream guy was, and my person is all of them. So if you do have your journals from when you were a teenager, or you remember what your dreams were before you had your heart broken, go back and look at them. I'm telling you, it's all right there. Don't be afraid of being single. Just means your person can come in when they're ready. And if you're with somebody else, of course, it just takes longer. And it just keeps everybody from meeting their person. Keeps everybody from getting into those relationships with their true love. Like, seriously, it's like if in Enchanted, Giselle actually went back with, I think it was James Marsden's character, the Prince Edward. If she'd gone back with him, and Idina Menzel's character went back with Patrick Dempsey's character, and they just never realized that they were mismatched, it's that. I mean, Idina Menzel belonged in Andalasia. Totally belonged there. Like, she's got the voice for it. She needed to be able to go and sing. She didn't get to sing in the real world. So, I mean, yeah. Wait for your person. They're out there, and they're searching for you too. All right. I am going to go and enjoy the rest of my night. Thank you for watching my little soapbox, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.